Pressure Washing Institute Contractors First, here with my buddy Marco Raimondo today, and we are going to be talking about all sorts of stuff. But main thing, trends in the industry, guys. All these trends, the buying trends, we're going to discuss that tonight. We're going to talk about the F9 training that's coming up. It's coming up right around the corner. We're going to tell you guys a little bit about what they're going to be doing there. We're going to put a couple links in here. FNA Group's got some donation spots that they've geared up in Florida for the hurricane, the people to help assist them with water, all the things that people need during these times. Obviously, we talked about this a little earlier, me and Marco. You're probably not going to be able to find a generator anywhere.
No.
And of course, today, Marco wants to say a couple things about this new product. Say about this, and then we'll move into the sludge sucker, and then we'll talk about all these other things.
It's a graffiti removal product. It's one that's going to be a little less harsh on your skin than other products like World's Best and Taganator. And we're still going to carry Taganator, but we found companies who have employees are looking for something that's not as aggressive and things that are not as hazardous when it touches your skin. So we have this as a more of a humanly friendly, environmentally friendly, which you still can't pour this down the storm drain. Let me just go ahead and throw that out.
When are you going to have it out? When are you going to have it out? What, in a couple of weeks?
About 2 weeks. About 2 weeks. We just got we just got everything together. The SDS sheets have just been done, so that's going to be a new product that we will have. And it's a been because we're getting more active in the graffiti realm. We're learning a lot more about it, and we're getting more involved in the communities that are having graffiti as problems. So we're finding more customers that are dealing with graffiti problems.
That's good.
That's all I want to talk to about it.
Yeah. Well, now we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about all those other things tonight. Hopefully we can get that all in 30 or 40 minutes. But
I tried 30.
Yeah. The one thing that I wanted to tell everybody that we did this sludge sucker demo at the Dallas Fort Worth DFW event, and they flew off the shelves, man. I mean, every time somebody sees one of these in action, everybody wants one of them. And a similar thing happened, and you didn't realize it, was with that sandblasting unit. You know what I mean?
I didn't expect the sandblasting kits. I had to buy a pallet of those things because we had a bunch on back order, which those sandblast kits just did come in today. And I'd like to thank Raj with Comet for getting us those sandblast kits in a very quick matter of time.
Thanks, Raj. We appreciate Raj. Now, guys, I haven't figured out how to cut the audio out of this, and if it's really loud, I'm going to try to turn it down. So, guys, bear with us on this. I've never done this before, but I'm going to go ahead and start the video. Marco, they can still hear you, I think, over the video if you want to walk over.
I can talk a little bit about it while it's going through. Yeah, we couldn't get the volume off. So you have the attachment at the end of your lamp. Whoa! There's a video that says everything it needs to say. But it drains 100 gallons of water in like 60 seconds. And I'm going to explain why this is important after you see this video. You see all that water? That's not 5 gallons a minute. It's like 5 gallons in 2 seconds. So, and I'm just draining out that tank. So we have two different ones that we carry. One is from Hydrotech called the Muck Scupper, and then we have another one from Suttner, which is the ST36. They both work well. If you're doing more stuff in areas with mud, the ST36 is absolutely better, which I didn't give you that video where I'm digging a hole in my yard and sucking all the mud out to expose my pipeline so I could fix a leaking pipe that was underground, which, But anyways, the reason why this is important is guys that are going to Florida or guys that are in Florida, something that is going to happen is you're going to have houses that flood, and they're going to need to have water evacuated out of their house. This is going to be a service that the day after the hurricane and people start coming back to their homes and realize that there's 3 feet of water stuck in their house, what you do is you can use a 4-gallon-a-minute power washer, attach this sludge sucker, and evacuate the water out of the rooms and out the window. And that's how you get the water out of the house. But there will be houses. In Houston, it's a common occurrence. There probably aren't going to be a lot of houses with basements, but if we don't have houses with basements here, I'm assuming Florida does the same. But those sludge suckers are really it's an important tool for you to have after a hurricane. And for guys that are slow and needing work, you need to have one of those things. So just something to think about with those sludge suckers. Also, and Ron, I'll just jump right into it. There's other services other than power washing that you're going to be able to offer after a disaster. In Houston, it's the same thing every time. We have companies that are power washing companies that will go in as contractors. And what they'll do is they'll, a lot of houses, they got to knock out like the first 4 feet of their wall, all the part of the wall that was hit, because all the sheetrock has to be replaced. Electrical stuff has to be replaced. So they'll hire contractors to demo all this stuff. And people come from out of state to Houston to do that. Like you see people from Arkansas, as far north as the Dakotas, they'll come down just to knock that stuff out because the insurance is paying for all this. So with that being said, if you're getting into that business and you're going to, take advantage over the next month, getting into that market, and some people call them storm chasers, be wary of certain storm chasers. If you have a contractor who doesn't have a reputation and you have no relationship with, and they're wanting you to do something, they're offering you $2 or $3 grand to do a demo for them or to power wash something for them, there's like a 50% chance you're never getting paid. And I'm not lying about 50%. It's probably higher. But a lot of these companies, they're going to collect from the insurance company and they're going to leave you out of it. Be really careful. If it's not a reputable company that is well known and it's just some random person calling you, be skeptical. Don't be the guy that spends 3 days working and then doesn't get paid. So I just wanted to make sure that I wanted to get that out there. Also, make sure that you're following your local laws. Some cities will fine you if you're soliciting for any services due to a FEMA-related incident. The city of Kemah, where I'm at, whenever we have a natural disaster, they make it very clear it's illegal for you to just door knock and try to sell a bunch of hurricane relief services. You need to make sure that you're following the laws. Almost every city is going to require that you have a peddler's permit. If you don't have a peddler's permit, you're going to get kicked out of that town and fined. So, okay, I got all that out there. Ron, what's next?
We forgot. We're both going to CETA, and you're giving away a skid, aren't you?
I am giving away a skid, but I will not be able to make it this year. I will not be able to make it. I will still be giving away a power washer. So they got what they need out of me. They got a power washer.
Well, right down there, guys, below there, go to National Cleaning Expo. There's a special link there. If you sign up on that link, you're going to get a very cool T-shirt. Hopefully I can get a picture of it up here. But you'll get a very cool T-shirt that actually has all of this right here, this image right here. It has all that on the back, and then on the front, it's got the Power Clean logo on the I think the left breast pocket. Pretty cool shirt, one of a kind collector shirt. That was Raj that said thank you, Marco. By the way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, no, I mean Raj sent out those Sandblast kits, and we got them. We got plenty of them in stock, so. Those Sandblast kits, they come, we get them from Comet. So yeah, they did the demo with the Sandblast kit, and immediately they're like, how many do you have? I'm like, we have one. And I think Amber sold 5 of those Sandblast kits just after they saw the demo. Cause like, wow, that really does work. And I think a lot of people don't realize that you can do you can sandblast with a power washer, and it works pretty well. It just leaves a huge mess. It does leave a huge mess.
Media blasting. It's awesome stuff. I love it. It really works good on it. If you got some metals and some rust and stuff, it'll knock that stuff right off of it.
Oh, speaking of rust, we have Craig Harrison. He's going to be in Kemah Friday next week, and he's going to be having a hands-on training class. And it started because we had a scissor lift get power washed. It wasn't me who power washed it. It was the scissor lift repair company. They decided to power wash it for my landlord, who was their customer. And they incidentally got a ton. I thought it was rust, but it was actually just battery acid. And it's like a 200-foot long line it's a huge trail. So Craig Harrison is going to be teaching a class and showing you how to remove that. I think he's also going to do some calcium removal, among other things. I believe it's a full day, 8-hour class, hands-on. You'll need to contact Craig Harrison for information on that. I do know he's also bringing out that floor scrubber. I actually have never used one, but I really hope that I get to actually use it this time. Yeah, it's going to be Friday next week. The training is, I believe it's $279 for the training. And there are going to be some things that we'll be giving away at the show. It's not a show. It's just a class. It's not a show. It's a class. It's one day.
Yeah, it's a training class.
It's a training class. Yes, it's a training class. So, we will be giving a couple of things away, and so we look forward to seeing you guys come up there. And I'm really excited about the trailer that we're finishing for F9, and it's we got more stuff on there than it's a lot. It's gonna be.
You put more things on there that you wanted to. Unbelievable.
I didn't know we could fit that much on that one trailer, but here we are. We fit all that stuff on one trailer. So. And I believe Craig's going to be doing a training deal with that trailer all across the country. I believe he's going to be also doing some washing in your area, Ron. He's probably going to be competing with your son on some jobs, right?
No, I doubt if that'll happen. Craig does. It's a whole different market. What Craig does.
I know. His customers are not the same ones that you go after. I would like to joke because
I know
y'all both power washing the same damn town.
Yeah,
or big city, not town.
The kid the other day just signed because it's budget time. It's budget time.
Yes.
Let's talk about this because
October 1st, new budget year.
Just signed a deal, just a little over $250,000 for 30 grocery stores. Just 30. That's it. And it's a little over $250,000 deal. And it's a home run account. Home run account. I mean, good account. And why did that happen right now? Marco, explain what happens on Friday. This Friday, what happens?
What happens is almost every government entity's budget year starts over. And what that means is if you called the city of Houston purchasing department or the facilities maintenance director who works with purchasing and said, I've been wanting to clean this parking garage for the city and I want to figure out if I can bid on it, they'll say, we don't have it in our budget this year. Whenever it's October 1st, it's in their budget. They just don't know it. They have money in their budget to spend. So some of these cities are actually waiting to have a new budget because they have properties that they've been needing to clean for a while. And they're like, well, we don't have the money until October 1st. The other thing is, I mean, it's a little too late now, but if there's anybody that has leftover money, you have until the 1st for them to spend all their money. Let me just go ahead and clarify. If you want to do the business with the city of Houston and you're wanting them to spend their money, you have to somehow figure out how to get them to spend it like in the next 2 days, which is probably not going to happen. Just going to go ahead and throw that out there. But that's what happens with government. And if they don't spend their budget, they are at risk of not having that money allotted to them the next year. They don't let it carry over. They end up losing that money. So a lot of departments, they'll wait until the last month of the year. For them, it's September to spend their money because they wanted to save it for a rainy day. And if they have money left over, like, well, I'm going to use this money to clean these facilities that we didn't have a chance to wash, because their facilities maintenance department usually has a power washer, but they can't clean all of the facilities in-house. It's not, these cities don't have the manpower to do that. So guys that are generally used to doing government work, next week is the week to start hitting everybody up. The next week, everybody's going to have their money in. So that's something I just wanted to share. If you do government jobs, next week is the week to get started.
A lot of guys don't, they kind of don't understand it, and they don't get that. Like a lot of guys that, I do my unsolicited proposal class, they just don't understand it. They can't grasp their head around it because
it's simple, Ron. You have $20,000 to spend right now. Okay. Monday, you have $2 million to spend, and you have until September 30th to spend that $2 million.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. They have $20,000 left for these last 2 days. Okay. They're probably going to buy a bunch of random things that they need. just to get rid of that money because they're going to need these things anyways. And they don't want to go into next year's budget and use up that money. And then they're going to have $2 million starting next week. And then they have until September 30th, 2023 to spend that $2 million. That's how government works in a nutshell. Give or take some variances.
Yeah.
And some of them have been waiting like, well, we don't have it in our budget. We really need a clean city hall. It's just not in this year's budget. Okay, so it's in next year's budget. And this is another reason why, and some of these guys watching, if they're police officers, they already know, when do cops get their raises? October 1st. We're always waiting for new budget year because that's when we got a raise.
I'm gonna put this up. This is an old thing from an old buddy of mine. His handle on there is Flipper, but it's Phil Kircher that still works for Karcher. And if you can imagine, man, the kind of money this guy, all he does is handle the government entities for Karcher. Can you imagine?
That's a very full-time job.
He sells like the purchase recs they're never under $1 million or $2 or $3, $4, $5 million. Yeah. Crazy amounts of money. I just put that up for some of these guys to read that. You can also go to Pressure Washing Institute, guys, that link that I just put up. You can go there and read about how I basically can run you down on the budget thing. You can go there and look. There's some videos. There's also some vlogs there that kind of explain how property managers work and how their budgets work. You're right, Marco. The reconciliation, that all happened already. They did all that. They basically padded their budgets. They've increased their budgets. That's what people don't understand. I'll bet that this year is the biggest increase it's ever happened in
because
business.
The government, all that inflation has been taxed.
I mean, everything's going up. I mean, isn't it?
All the inflation, yeah. So if they normally had $100 million and everything is 30% more expensive, now they have $130 million to spend.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how it works.
And nobody, and Marco, this isn't a service that is like a luxury thing. This is something they have to spend the money. And I don't think people understand that. These buyers, it's their sole job to buy pressure washing services, to spend the money. That's when you're talking about, hey, you get those calls and people don't believe it sometimes. They go, hey, man, I got $20,000. I need you to run over this thing and just wash. Just go wash something. I need to get this money out of my budget. How many times has that happened to you? It happens.
A lot.
Yeah.
Hey, it's September 15th. I've got a couple of things I need to have washed. And what he's wanted to say is, hey, I got to get rid of this money or else I'm just going to lose it. So I may as well get this stuff washed because these facilities, man, these guys with cities, they want, like, have you ever go to a city? It's very rare that they're just insanely dirty. They want to create a good image for their city. It's how they market their city. And if their city hall is disgusting, then it sets a very bad precedent for the quality of life living in that city or working in that city. That's the reason why them looking clean is extremely important. Aside from, there's also health factors and benefits. You know, whenever you have a bunch of black algae growing right next to their air conditioning system, yeah, you probably want to clean that up. So that what he posted right there is the event that's going to be next week. Craig Harrison has all of it on there, and I will be supplying everyone lunch that attends. That's going to be complimentary, and that's going to be on me.
What are we eating?
I was thinking T-Bone Tom's, Scallywags, something.
T-Bone Tom's.
T-Bone Tom's or Scallywags.
I might show up.
And if Scallywags is watching this right now, I'm going to see a bunch of thumbs up, you know. Because I shared it on my personal page, so I'm sure Dimitri or Barry seeing this right now. If they're watching. They're the owners of T-Bone.
Yeah, F9 training is October 7th, 9 to 5 p.m. And there's all the things you're going to do, guys. And I threw up a link, guys. There's a link in the thread here of the training. So if you guys want to go to that, I'm going to put it up again. There it is right there, guys. It's right in there. You guys can go there and find out about the training and get registered. I don't know where the registration is being hosted. Is it on your site or is it on Craig's?
It's on what?
No,
it's not on our site. It's on Craig's. It's not on my site.
Marco,
it's completely handled through
we
Craig's.
talked about the F9 training. We didn't talk about trends really. We covered budget pretty well. I'm going to look up this hurricane stuff. So why don't you talk about these different trends and stay focused on what right now is really running hot? Like, we could talk about this hurricane thing. It's
Government
running hot.
Is going to be hot, and that's what I really feel like. That's what the purpose of the show is so that we discuss what is a hot topic. And right now, a hot topic is government is going to be spending a lot more money starting next week. Next week is basically the gates opening. If you're equipped to do commercial work and you can do taller buildings or parking garages, parking lot striping, you really need to be soliciting that. And what's coming up in December, Ron? Property managers, their budget season comes up to an end. December is an awesome time to be soliciting shopping centers. And Ron might argue with me on that, or he might say, yes, you're absolutely right. December is a great month. It's not March like everybody else thinks it is. That's when it's busy for residential washing, not December. You have companies that are last minute trying to find a contractor for their next year's budget. I've been that guy a handful of times because, hey, I need somebody like now because they waited way too long and then they're down to 20 days left and they have to have somebody picked up for the next year because their current contract cleaner is retiring or they went up too much on their price and they're done with it. Whatever the case is, they're open for bids.
Yeah, it's what happens.
And you should be working on that kind of stuff now instead of waiting on December. You need to be working on your proposals now.
You need to be doing them. You need to be sending them like crazy right now. You're right.
Yes,
absolutely.
right now. Yes, right now.
Absolutely. Well, I just shared this from the FNA group, our friends over there. They've set up some of these distribution for guys to send things. I just put that in I just shared it with the group here. I might make a vlog about it later. Appreciate Will for sending that over to us. They want to do their part down there. Obviously, ginormous company.
Mention that right there. At 4511 Clark Road, Sarasota, Florida, Mowers Inc. is going to have a lot of generators for sale. They also have at I-4 Power Equipment at 1905 South Frontage Road, Plant City, Florida. They're going to have generators. We only have a handful of generators at Washmart, but you're going to need some generators out there, guys. The generators are going to be extremely necessary for a lot of people out there. So there's going to be people that are going to have no power. I'm sorry for jumping off that, but there's going to be no power. You're going to want a generator.
You're right, man. I mean, it's just how it is. It's real.
And FNA Group, they probably don't have any in stock. As soon as a hurricane is announced, FNA Group runs out of generators basically that day. So FNA Group has something coming up. The donations. Did we already go over that?
Yeah, they're also willing to round up people there they're going to be helping the community through those locations right there as well, for folks to either send goods there that they can distribute to the community as needed. So
something I did discuss on trends, Ron. Going back to cleaning trends. November's elections, right?
Yep.
What happens after elections nowadays? Graffiti's everywhere. It doesn't matter what side wins what. Someone's upset about who gets elected, and there's going to be graffiti. Be ready for lots and lots of places looking for graffiti removal.
F the police and rockets.
Yes, rocket ships and F the police will be like the number one thing you'll see. But after the elections occur, it doesn't matter who wins, okay? Everybody is going to be graffitiing everybody that wasn't happy about the outcome. People that don't normally tag will be tagged.
But you mentioned these budgets and stuff and the trends on these things. Everybody's budget has increased. Everyone. No budget this year went down. No budget stayed the same. It's not possible. It's just not possible.
No. But now, guys, be on the lookout for graffiti in November. I'm not kidding. After the first 2 weeks of the elections, there's going to be more graffiti than normal. So just I would recommend being ready for those calls. Whenever you're driving around, picking up kids from school, look around right after the elections and look for things that are recently tagged. You don't want to look for things that have been tagged for 5 months. You want to notice the things that have been tagged within that week. Those are all hot leads. You just don't know it yet until you see it. But if you see if you're aware of your surroundings and you're not texting and driving and actually looking at your surroundings.
Marco, would you believe that we have graffiti removal contracts?
I could assume that.
You get paid not to remove graffiti. Is that crazy?
That I don't understand.
We write an agreement because they're paying exuberant amounts of money on their graffiti, right? Yeah. So we go back and look at what they spent and we say, okay, we're going to give you a monthly maintenance package for this much. We go out twice a month automatically and we remove whatever we can see on the property. It's beautiful because you know as well as that, what happens? As soon as you start keeping the graffiti down, the taggers usually will what? They'll give up.
They do. They like to tag properties that have already been tagged. They like going after places that they know aren't going to clean them. I've noticed that. They like to go after brick walls that have already been tagged because they know it's going to stay longer.
So after their long
because spray paint's expensive now, Ron.
After their long spell of graffiti, right? All of a sudden it stops and they're like, oh man, you guys are doing so great. We never see graffiti anymore because it's not happening.
Yeah. But graffiti, so spray paint has like tripled in price. So I'm pretty sure whenever it gets removed, the taggers hate it because they're like, man, this shit's getting expensive.
Oh, they don't buy that, man. I watched it. I got a story about Kmart. This guy's name was Mays, and he signed his signature, and it was Mays. That was his name. This guy, Kmart couldn't figure out how he was getting the paint because it's on lockdown. You know what I mean? It's on lockdown. This kid would get out of the store with 2 cases. And they never could catch him. Never could catch him.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
But it was always it was always their paint you found in the bushes or whatever. You know what I mean?
I had a theft report, and a guy did this at Sam's Club, and it was a pallet of cigarettes at Sam's Club. They had it on the fire lane, and these guys pulled up, had some sort of cherry picker, grabbed the pallet, put it on their truck, and drove off. It was a $7,000 pallet of cigarettes. And I was like, they left this whole pallet outside unattended?
Yeah. Can you imagine what an entire truckload of cigarettes is worth? A couple $1 million? It's crazy.
A lot more than a truckload of power washers.
And very easy to get rid of for a normal price. I mean,
no one's got to go to New York and sell them for $10 a pack. It's a bargain.
Oh, there'll be a store merchant that'll buy them right in his back door.
I know.
Yeah, right through the back door. They'll bring it right in.
Absolutely.
Anyways, so, you know, I got to say that, so it's government stuff because you still keep talking about the medical stuff that's nonprofit. It's kind of like government stuff because they're being funded. The schools, all these budgets that went up.
Some homeowners associations. And some large corporations.
All the kid places, pet stores. These are things that are on a trend right now. Because when the economy goes down, what do people do? I'm going to buy a dog. I'm going to go down to the pet store and get Skippy a new leash because I'm at home more now with him and I'm walking him. You know what I mean? I'm keeping myself. These are the things. These are the trends that happen. Kid places. I've said this a million times. Kid places right now, go look. They're packed.
Yeah, they are.
Packed. People don't have the money, but they're going to give Johnny $30 and say, hey, go down to the fiddlesticks or whatever the thing is in your thing. Go ride go-karts and go, you know, play some video games, you know, because
it's $60 now.
Yeah, they feel bad, right? You know, another one, don't think that this isn't it's not a big one, but I was trying to tell people this the other day. All these tobacco stores need regular maintenance and regular cleaning. We have them here. You don't have them yet, but the dispensaries, they got to be clean. It's medical marijuana. They can't be dirty.
No, I didn't even put it.
And to say something, their clientele is dirty. I mean, that's the reality of it. Their clients, hey, I'm gonna tell you guys, want to get some good watching. Like the wife and I like to go to Walmart sometimes just to people watch because it is fun. You go to these dispensaries, man, it is hilarious, Marco. Okay. So I'm going to this dispensary and I'm sitting outside and I'm waiting for the kid to come out. I don't ever go in because you got to give ID and they're not getting my ID. So I'm sitting there though, and you're watching these people in a normal situation where there'd be some road rage, right? You know?
Yeah.
The dude backs out, he taps the guy, and I'm waiting for a problem, man. I'm like, oh, the guy's gonna come out of that car unglued because he bumped him, you know? And the dudes all get out and they're like, wow, dude. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's no damage, man. Don't worry about it, bro.
No, they don't want to get ID'd.
No,
it's because they don't want to get ID'd.
They're all hiring the kite, man. It was cool. You just hit me a little, it's a little scratch. Don't worry about it, man. I mean, it blows my mind. And then to watch them like park the car, it's like, you know, they're back, forth. It takes them like 6 times to get out. Then they get out and they want to go look at the front to see if they're going to clear the guy. I couldn't believe it. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen, man. Funniest thing I've ever seen. I never thought a weed watching store would be so hilarious.
That I would have never connected that. But
so I went to the gym and I started working out. Like I'm 8 weeks now. I've been working out consistently and didn't stop drinking though. But
I can't tell.
Congratulations on your not drinking. Yeah, I'm still fat. But
yeah,
the reality was, right? So I get there.
I'm 7 months sober almost, and like on the 2nd, I'll be 7 months.
Congratulations, man. I got to stop eating. You stop drinking, I got to stop eating.
I just started dieting a month and a half ago. I've lost 20 pounds.
You start getting. So I go to the gym, man, and I've been in the gym a long time. So don't get pissed off at me, females, okay? But I'm looking at some of these broads from the back, and I'm like, okay, that's a dude. Then I go, oh no, it's a woman. And then they speak, and I'm like, I'm not sure now if they're a man or a woman. You're like, okay, but there's this girl, and she's doing 65-pound plates, right? With just curling them with each arm. And I'm like over there with my 20s, man, struggling. So I like, okay, screw it, man. I picked up the 45s and I crushed a set out, right? And I'm like, man, I feel like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm pumped up now, you know, like I don't realize this, man. I go over to grab this, to go, you know, the Stairmaster because now I'm just jacked. And I grab the handle of that Stairmaster and this alarm goes off, man. You know what I'm saying? It's got my heartbeat going at 257 beats per minute. And it basically authorized like you're going to have a cardiac arrest.
Do you ever watch gyms?
Huh?
Have you ever done gyms like LA Fitness, 24-hour, which it's the same now, but
no, I go to
no, I'm asking like in your business, have you ever watched gyms? Because that's something I've never really even thought about soliciting, are like larger gyms, like chain gyms, like Gold's Gym. I don't know if y'all have those out there, but like those large, you know, we have probably 50 LA Fitnesses just in the Houston metro. Do y'all clean anything like that? Have you ever done those? Because I have no idea. Would they be like a monthly, a quarterly, once a year? Are they too cheap? What kind of, have you ever had them as a customer?
Lots of gyms.
I did, because I only did 24-hour fitness, but it was a weird situation. I did the whole shopping center, and it just happened to have a 24-hour fitness, and I just happened to do almost every shopping center that had a 24-hour fitness at one point.
They all clean, man. They all clean. All of them clean. They really do. They all clean.
The amount of gum that we had on 24-hour fitness, it was worse than anything.
Hey, guys, we're not going to have a show next week, but the following week, I'm going to give away a cookbook. It'll be right after you guys do the F9 training. I'm going to give a $200 laminated cookbook away on the next show, Marco. Sound like a good idea?
Sounds good. Planet Fitness monthly. Yeah, we have Planet Fitness here. I didn't know they do monthly. Yeah, because I used to do 24-hour fitnesses, but it's just because of the property manager I dealt with. It was like 8 different 24-hour fitness shopping centers that had a bunch of other stuff. So I just did the 24-hour. I don't know why. It was all a bunch of shopping centers, and 24-hour fitness was always like the main one. And So I guess that property manager only went after places that had 24-hour fits. I don't know. It was
Yeah,
weird.
they all wash, man. All these places wash, Marco. They all wash. All of them.
I just noticed whenever you have a 24-hour fitness, that area would take 2 hours, and then the rest of the sidewalks takes an hour. And the 24-hour fitness takes up 10% of the space, but it's 60% of the work just because of the gum.
Marco, 6,000
What?
square feet in front of a grocery store. The
Yeah.
doorway's a couple hundred square feet.
That's where it takes long.
Takes twice the amount of time as the rest of it.
Yeah, that's how it was for me at the 24 hours. Like, man,
No, that's how it is. Somebody listening right now doesn't understand that. That doorway, that's why we have just doorway package services. Sometimes it's not necessary to do those other areas every month.
You just taught me something new. I didn't even think
want
about
the door.
doorway
They
package.
want the doorway done weekly, but they only want to do the cross the front once a month.
So really what it needs to be is instead of saying, yeah, we'll do all this for 900, we'd be like, okay, so we have the doorway package, the excess outside of the doorway package, and then we can also...
Do you know who invented package selling? Do you know who it is? You're looking at the guy. I taught all these guys package selling, all of them.
I was about to just like throw some name that would piss you off.
Every last one. No, you can name any guy, and they got the package from me. But they took it to residential. I don't do residential. But of course you got packages. Okay, so since we're giving some good information here, we know that all fast food restaurants cannot afford to do a parking lot, right? They can't afford to do the entire parking lot. Some can't even afford to do the entire sidewalk. So we used to have a service we would call the menu and window only. So it was the window where they served the food out and only the menu board area.
I never thought about even doing that.
They didn't do the drive-through, and then they would do the sidewalks. And they would do that once a week for a couple $100, where they'd still be getting, it'd be an $800 a month account, but they couldn't do the parking lot. Chick-fil-A has a lot of money, but they can't afford to do their parking lots, man, every week or every month. It's not possible. You'd have to charge.
So they do. What we do with our Chick-fil-A's is we do the sidewalks and drive-through, because I have several on monthly. What we'll do is we'll do the drive-through, the sidewalks, and we'll do 1/3 of the parking lot in like a 4-hour session. And then we'll do another segment of the parking lot. So every quarter, the entire parking lot is washed.
Let me give you one. Let me give you one better. So we'll talk about this. Sonic.
They're so cheap down here, Ron. I don't even want to talk about
the building area and the patio every time. Then you rotate one of the 3 canopies each time, just like you're talking about. So every quarter, every canopy gets done once.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I do is I would do the parking lot in segments, and I just always do the drive-through the sidewalk.
But the building sidewalk by the bathroom and the they have the little patio in the front, that gets done every time. And then we do one canopy section. And guys will go, but their canopies sometimes are different. No, they're not. They're 3 canopies that run right across from each other. The 2 over here are back to back, and then there's one on the other side because they usually still have a drive-through. And do we do the drive-through? Yeah, we do the drive-through on calls on those. And usually, we all know when the drive-through is getting done. Here's the call, right?
Yes.
It's 12 p.m. at night. Marco, I'm glad you answered the phone. I've got a corporate inspection in the morning. Can you get over here for a lot of money right now and get this done for me? Yes, we'll be right over. I mean,
I need to ask you a question, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to know your opinion, because I don't feel comfortable doing this at all, knowing Texas law. But how do you feel about your company's stencils, putting them on a sidewalk and pressure washing it on a sidewalk to market to that shopping center or to the people walking in? I've had very mixed reviews about it. I wouldn't be comfortable doing it because in Texas, it's technically a Class C misdemeanor to do that. So that's the reason
Marco,
why
I have 1,500 videos I stenciled the city up, man.
Man, that's just outside of my comfort zone.
You haven't seen my YouTube channel with all the videos on it
I've seen your YouTube channel, and I've seen a couple of those. The reason why I brought it up is because I know you do it. I just have a hard time processing, because if they were upset about it and wanted to file charges, in Texas, we have a law where even though I didn't damage the property, I created a mess that created an inconvenience for that person, and it's a misdemeanors. So that's the part of the thing. It's like, okay, even though I'm not destroying their property, it's creating an inconvenience, which still constitutes Class C criminal mischief. And so that's the reason why I'm not comfortable doing it. Just because I know the law very well. So it's really hard for me to just, man, I'm going to go ahead and do this. And I don't know. I just feel like
yeah,
I'm playing
I
Russian
just
roulette.
don't. I guess I just don't care.
You know what?
I just don't care. I found out people that get mad, the ones that get mad are usually the ones that will hire you. I know that sounds strange, but
what?
The ones that get pissed off about it will hire you.
So they'll get pissed off because they're ordering. Did they ever order you to come back and wash it up?
We would always be obliged to do something like that if they would give us the time. And we always try to take care of them. It would be an opportunity to give them a wash away for free. You know, my giving away a wash for free.
Yes, I know about it.
You know, so I mean, I'm gonna try to use that. I'm gonna try to give them a wash away for free, or try to sell them right on the spot. I mean, that's the whole point of this, man. That's what you're trying to do, right? I mean, you're trying to get them as a maintenance client. That's the
yes.
Hey, I'm gonna blast this. I'm gonna blast this thing out. We're gonna wrap up, but give me a minute. I'm working on a blast right here. I'm going to send it to a couple thousand people.
By the way, Ron, we can make stencils.
I know you can. You got a plasma cutter. They sell for about $250 to $300, depending on what.
$300 is what we sell our stencils. Yeah, we make aluminum. It's like a 1/4-inch aluminum stencils, and we cut them out. Thank you, Timothy. The reason why I have Ron do this, because I actually called him and said, hey, Ron, we're doing our bi-weekly Wednesdays, right? He goes, yeah. I was like, okay, good. I like this consistent because every 2 weeks things change. And I'm not very filtered, and neither are you.
Yeah, we didn't argue about anything, though.
I know. We need to get pissed off next. We need to argue about something just to argue, right? Is that what we need to do? We just need to argue about something.
I don't know. Find something to argue. I'm sure we can find. I'm sure
the economy's tanking, and there's no work to do because there's not enough money to spend.
Yeah, but it's bullshit. You know what? You argued that with me a few weeks back and said, no, man, we're in a recession. I said, bullshit. I said, stop thinking that way. Start spending money. And guess what? Things are coming back. People got a little scared. The interest rate on the housing market, trickled down. It did.
You don't think a declining number in house sales has an impact on our residential washers running out of work?
It's had a huge impact.
Okay, all right. I just wanted you to say that on recording. Cool.
Yeah, it's had a huge impact. I mean, you can't say it hasn't. But here's the thing. You got to pivot, man. You got to go out there and look. We just talked about
That's why I pivot.
This hurricane stuff is real. But you now have pivoted to go to a customer now you're choosing rather than just taking anybody that can walk through your door. Yeah. Marco, you talked to me so many times about firing customers, man. Yeah. So many times.
Absolutely.
I don't want you to ever fire another customer ever again. Don't do business with somebody you're going to fire.
Well, we're trying to get better at pre-screening. It's just a process. It's not something I never thought I was going to get to a point of like, all right, we need to figure out how to pre-screen these customers so that whenever we see these red flags, we just shut down. And residential cleaning customers are so much worse now than they were 8 years ago when I started. Like it's bad. I mean, the things that they're asking for, the pricing that they're expecting, the level of service that they're wanting for what they're not willing to pay, it's all becoming unreasonable. There's a contractor the other day that got scammed by one of their customers where the total was, I think, $799 for everything. And after they were done, she was like, oh, I'm sorry. All I heard was $79. And it's like, no. And then they had it on recording and everything. But the customer scammed the contractor. And now it's turned into a whole ordeal. And I don't know. I'm wondering if there were indicators on that phone call that would have led him to believe that customer was going to try to scam him. And there we go. There's the stencil. I like that. those are very, very satisfying videos. Then Ron leaves me on here by myself.
I know. Maybe
live.
I'm supposed to. Am I supposed to put those on TikTok again? Like, right? I mean, should I?
Probably.
No, but there you go. You got a stencil, and Marco sells them $250, $300, depending on which one you want. I mean, they're aluminum, which are good because if guys can also do run around with your pump up sprayer and do SH ones.
Yes. Ron, that's all I got today. We'll go ahead.
We're 45 minutes, man.
Yeah, we're 45 minutes. I'm ready to shut this down. Guys, in 2 weeks, hell, let's just go ahead and put a damn day. In 2 weeks, we're doing this again. We do this every other Wednesday with the exception of the show that we had in DFW. Well, it looks like we're going to be the 12th is whenever we're going up next. Don't forget, we're having a pressure washer show, a trade show in League City at the League City Convention Center, February next year. Ron, if you could post the dates and the link on here so that people have it. We were going to have every year we have a bigger and bigger event, and my agenda isn't for it to become bigger. My agenda is for it to become better, to make sure that we're having new information, not repeated information, but are also original information that if you go to this event and you felt like everything was a waste of time, but you took that one class and the next level of your business, it was a successful event for you. And that's what we want. We want to make sure that that speaker, that person that's there can guide you to where you need to go with that piece of information that you're missing from your toolbox. Because I take education very seriously in this industry, because I feel like one of the ways that we're failing is we're not taking education in this industry seriously. We're destroying more and more people's property, and our insurance rates are going up because of that. There's more guys out there that aren't doing any education. They're getting a turbo nozzle, a 4200 direct drive power washer, and they're just tearing everything up. And now I'm having to pay higher insurance rates because of that on my cleaning business. It sucks. So
links in there, man. They can sign up right there, Marco. Look at that.
Yeah.
NationalCleaningExpo.com. Sign up, man, for the Houston event. You can sign up for the Power Clean event. You can sign up for all the events, guys. And we're going to be back at DFW same time, same place.
Next year. Yeah. We're going to be in DFW again, September next year. And I would like to have it at the same place. I really liked that place. I mean, it was a nice venue. And it was not in an area where everybody's distracted. It was very much.
Water, please. I was just getting a drink order in. My waitress came in.
Yeah, Trent Tucker wants the hot water unit giveaway. Oh, man.
Hey, wait a minute. Let's talk about this. This could happen. We've got a Cedar Creek skid-mounted unit, right?
Oh,
you forgot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I knew I was forgetting. Okay, Nathaniel Ivester with Cedar Creek.
It hasn't happened yet, though, Marco. Don't overpromise. We're looking for sponsors for the equipment, and we're going to build the first ever, not the first ever. We built a couple of them. Commercial skid unit.
It's going to be a commercial truck-mounted skid. It's going to be with a hot water machine. And the whole goal is for us to get the donations so that we can give this entire skid away. Once we have everything donated, Fred, my dad, and Devin, they're going to assemble it, put it all together, make it look real nice. It's going to be on the trade show floor, and it's only going to go out to one of the attendees that is present at the time. It's not going to be something, if you're online and you're watching, thank you for watching, but you have to be there in person in order to be able to drive off with that truck-mounted skid. And I believe it's going to be an 8-footer. You know, it really sucks is that somebody has to buy an 8-foot bed truck just because they want a skid.
They want it, yeah.
That's like Oprah Winfrey when she gave those cars away and then they couldn't pay the taxes on it. That would suck.
Let's make this really clear. Hey, Trent, this is not a raffle. That's gambling. We're not doing that.
Yeah,
it's probably illegal in the state of Texas. But Marco doesn't know this. I've talked to a couple of foundations that are local there in his area for children, and we may institute something like that to raise a little bit of money for them, but it'll have nothing to do with the skid giveaway. We're gonna try to do a fundraiser and give back to the community.
Yes, absolutely.
Maybe we'll do that with a small machine. Maybe FNA Group gives us a small machine. We'll raise 10,000. Everybody buys 10 tickets for $10 or something.
Donate.
Oh, we're going to give it 100% back, Marco. 100%.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm a little bit partial only to, I hope we can send it to an autistic organization, an organization that funds autism. Just
if you have one that's local to your community, absolutely. Let's start talking to them. They're not going to turn us down. Nobody's going to turn us down to come get a big check. Plus, Marco, I have lots of big checks. You've seen them all in the past. We never lose. We're going to raise at least. We've never raised less than $5,000 to $10,000. And hey, with the economy and inflation the way it is, maybe it'll be $10,000 or $20,000, right?
Yeah. Donations have
maybe
gone
we'll
up
tell
30%.
everybody to get 2 sets of tickets because of inflation.
Yeah, donations have gone up 30%.
But hey, man, it's always good talking, Marco. We'll see you back here in 2 weeks, guys. National Cleaning Expo, guys. Please get registered for Marco's event. There won't be limited seating at the Houston event because this place holds 1,000 people. But you know what? If you get registered sooner, I'm going to put a little tidbit out here. We're going to arrange it this time for early registrations to sit up front. You're going to have a name plaque up front, and the first 100 people that register for the Houston event are going to have that, and there's going to be special gifts and things for the first 100 guys that register. I know one thing, if Marco's probably going to do shirts again, but I'm going to have some special show shirts as well. So I'm going to guarantee that 100 of those people are going to get the special collector show shirt because we're making a special show shirt for Houston.
Ron, did you like the camo hats more, or did you like these more?
Yeah, those are better.
You like these more? I'll attempt to get these again.
The camo hat is specific, man. The guys in the South and shit will love that camo hat. But I'm from Chicago. I'm from South Chicago, man. You know what I mean?
Man, dude. I mean, camo hat's like the only way to go.
I'm not trying to be camouflaged when I'm going through the hood. I just want to get right through there. You know what I'm saying? No attention to myself or anything,
No, I got you.
All right, guys. You guys have a lot. Well, wait. Do we have to answer this question?
I would. So people getting equipment, seeing posts with big checks, and it's not easy money. I don't like how we have a false identity in this industry, like it's a get-rich-quick scheme, because it absolutely is not. In fact, the companies that grow too quick, too fast are the ones who fail the fastest. Hell, we've had struggles from growing too fast, and I've actually had to put the brakes on my company because I was letting systems go. I was growing and not implementing systems for the growth. And whenever you get bigger, you need to have a plan for whenever you grow with systems. It's something that I failed at. I did not have systems because I didn't expect to grow. This was a hobby originally, and then it turned into a company.
Speaking of that, did you ever create that organizational chart?
The flow chart, yes.
Has it helped?
I emailed it to some people within the company, and I've had some rebuttals. So I'm going to go back to the drawing board on it. But I have a generic one. But yes, flow charts. Everybody, I can tell you right now, do a flow chart for your company. And if you don't know what a flow chart is, look up a flow chart and do a flow chart for your company.
Thanks for giving me some credit for that, man. Thanks.
Thank you, Ron Musgraves, for convincing me to look into doing a flow chart, because it does really. I love that people have dreams, but you need to have it on paper. And that flow chart is the dream of your business and where you want it to be. It just because you're only an owner operator, or you only got 2 cleaning techs and you're just managing them, doesn't mean you're not growing up to where you'll have a human resources officer someday. You don't know.
And Marco, speaking of the flow chart, now people, when you do performance evaluations, they're going to be like, what? Hey, did I move up the chart? Did I get that promotion? Did I get that raise? Where am I at? Did I start at the company and I started down here and now I'm up at the top? Now I'm upper management. That's a big thing, man. It's a psychological thing. You know that when you walked into a McDonald's, you asked for a manager. What happened? 15 kids raised their hand. I'm a manager. Because remember that time period? They made everybody in the joint a manager, man. You know what I mean?
Then now you have to rephrase it. I need the general manager. Oh,
Yes.
He's
not
leaves
here.
at 2 o'clock. He's on a 3-week vacation. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, hey,
now you have to ask for the GM.
We're done, man, because we just hit 55 minutes. We said we were only going to do 40. We're at 55.
Right,
it's over.
Sorry, audience.
National Cleaning Expo, guys. See you guys back here in 2 weeks. Hey, we're looking for a name for this show, guys. Help us out. If you want to make in the comments at the end here, make some comments. Marco needs a name for this show. Just start giving them out. I'm going to have a little special prize for somebody that does that, guys. Ron Musgraves, Pressure Washing Institute, Contractors First. We're out. Go to nationalcleaningexpo.com and sign up for the events. Adios, guys.